Hello, hello, live viewers. Hello, hello, replay viewers. This is Ramona Jones of Ramona Speaks, life coach, poet, and best-selling author in the self-help category. Amazon best-selling author in the self-help category. Hello, hello, hello. If you have not been following me, or if you have not joined me on Periscope or visited my Facebook page, then you may have missed my launch. It was Wednesday, May the 18th. I launched my new book, Your Legacy Voice, The Prelude to Your Breakthrough. It's available on Kindle for the download. It was free for the first couple of days. Now it's $2.99, which is still a bargain. Hi, Bert. Thank you for coming in. Bert Medina. Please swipe up and invite your followers if you're on the Android, or swipe to the right if you're on the iOS. I'm sharing why I wrote Your Legacy Voice, the prelude to your breakthrough. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you haven't gotten your copy yet, you can swipe up and click on the link in my bio, bit.ly/ Your Legacy Voice 1. You can grab your copy. So just wanted to pop in. I'm usually on late at night, 9 o'clock, missing a lot of people. So I just wanted to come in and share a little bit about why I wrote the book. So hi, hello, scoping from a different place. So you used to see me with my tree and my photo in the back. So I just wanted to come in and pop in and share Your Legacy Voice, the prelude to your breakthrough. And why I wrote this book. It's a very important book for me because I was coming out of some trouble on my way to breakthrough. But more importantly than that, I'm an author who had been only hiding in her journals and not really getting my voice out there. And I knew it was time for me to write. I had written my first book back in 2005 and actually released it in 2006. And that was, the book of my mother's sayings and adages and Bible scriptures that she used to teach us with. And so I knew that I was supposed to write, and I always wanted to be a writer. So I encourage any of you out there who want to be a writer and feel like that you don't know enough, or who wants to listen to you, or any of those negative thoughts that you may be experiencing. Don't be hard on yourself. Give yourself time to grow. Whenever you start something new and fresh, then it's going to take you some time to really hone your craft and to hone your skills. Some people write great right out of the bat, but you can't compare yourself against people. You have to be you. Grow into your own voice. Stretch into your own voice. Yes. So anyway, that's what I had to do over these years. And so writing this book was, pretty much another start on a journey into the world of writing, of being an author. And not just writing a book, but the whole process of being a business owner, of owning my writing as a business. I'm embarking on a new territory. The first time I wrote my book, like I said, about 10 years ago, all I wanted to do was fulfill a promise that I made to myself. As a kid, I said I wanted to grow up and write a book. And so by the time I turned 20, I had not done that. By the time I was 30, I had not done that. I was turning 40, and I promised myself, I said, I will not put it off another year. I will not spend another 10 years waiting to write this book that I promised myself I would write. And I'm so glad that I did, because I wrote that book. Like I said, I released it in 2006, and my mother had an opportunity to be praised by that book, because it was really a legacy to her teaching, a legacy to her strength, a legacy to my mother as a woman. And so I kept a promise. But all I knew was that I needed to get it written. So I did a good job of learning about publishing, self-publishing, on how to self-publish it. I did a good job about learning how to put it together to get people to help me to do the cover. I designed the interior myself, had people help me to edit it. So I had all of that down, and it took a lot of work and a lot out of me because I was working a full-time job at the time. And so it took a lot of work, a lot of effort. So again, I want to encourage you, if you're writing your own book and you don't have the money to have somebody else publish it and do all the work, and you're trying to do all the work yourself, I'm encouraging you, don't give up. Hang in there. It gets better. Give yourself the breaks and give yourself the courage to finish and to finish strong. Don't give up. Keep writing. Set your daily intentions because action is what brings success. Daily actions toward the right goals gets you to the end of your journey. So if you're going to be a writer, writers write. So you need to take time to write. And the other thing that I want to encourage you with is to just stick with it. So here I am now, 10 years later, writing my second book. It should not have taken me 10 years, but I was working and putting things off because I really didn't feel like I had much to say or really didn't think about being a writer for real. It was more of a hobby for me, something that I did in a book. But as I said, this time around, it became more real to me because I was coming out of a tumultuous relationship and I had been displaced from my job. So I had a lot of things to get out of me, things that I had bottled up and hidden. And then I was doing some self-development work, going through Abundance Now training and also just listening to other coaches and doing some self-work and unpacking some things and uncovering some things. So writing Your Legacy Voice, the prelude to your breakthrough, was really a therapeutic session for me. And what it allowed me to do was to tell my story, to be the victim in my story, to get the words out, to find meaning along the way. And then I had to go back in and edit it. The editing process, a lot of people dread the editing because they want to keep everything that they wrote and they don't want to throw anything away. But you have to learn how to shave and cut things. I remember as a student at SIU, Edwardsville, under the tutelage of Professor Eugene B. Redmond, and in his poetry writing classes, I would write a poem, and we would all dread getting our papers back with red ink all over them. And he told me one day I had a poem that was a page length, and he had cut away so many things, and there was only like a couple of stanzas left on the page. And he said, that's where your poem is. All of the other stuff just helps you to get there. So I'm encouraging you as a writer, when you write and you just kind of do a brain dump and you just kind of let your muse kind of flow and you just write. It's a brain dump. But you need to go back and feel free to edit because that was just really allowing you to go through the process of creation. But all of that is not your story. All of that is not your poem. And the main thing that I want to bring out of this point that I'm trying to make about cutting away, editing a book, especially if it's one on self-development, one on self-help, if you're giving your memoir, if you're telling your life story to really help somebody in the category of self-help in particular, if you're writing in the category of self-help, then the editing process is going to be very important, especially if you're telling a story about yourself. If you're coming out of something and you're sharing it, self-help means here are some things that I've been through and how I got through them. Here are some tools that I can share with you to help you to get through. So when you go back in to edit, after you write everything out, after you bare your soul, after you purge your soul, then the next thing that you have to do is go back and use that same pen to now write life. Because usually when you first write, you're the victim in your own story. Find every place in your story where you're the victim and then edit it out. And then stand on your story instead of in it. And that way you're more healed. The first act of even writing was an act of purging, an act of just getting it all out, because on the inside it has no room. It just festers. But when you get it out into the world and onto paper or onto your computer screen, you've released it that far. But don't let it stay there. Don't leave it there. You need to go back and edit. You need to go back in and see every place where you have been the victim in your own story. Find out what else do you need to do to bring you to that place of healing. What else do you need to do to bring you to a point of breakthrough, or at least to come out of your trouble and into that twilight place, the place where you're still healing, you're still developing, you're putting on the right mind for you to be the person that you need to be on the other side of your breakthrough. It's okay to go through that valley. It's okay to go through that dimly lit place that I call the twilight. It's okay to be there on the journey, but just don't stop there. So even in your editing of your book, that twilight place is a place for you to reach into that story and pull out the treasure. What is the real message that you want the world to know? You don't want them to know all of your baggage. You don't want them to know all of the ugly and what they did and blaming and all of that. So go back in. Cut all of that out. And what do you have left? You have a message of hope. You have written your way out. So that's what I did. And that's why I wrote Your Legacy Voice, the prelude to your breakthrough. Because I knew it was going to be healing for my soul and medicine for the world. So I wrote it for you. Those of you who have gone through some things. I wrote it for the wife who said I do and did, but he didn't. I wrote it to the person who has been rejected and criticized and put down and feel small and insignificant, but you have a lot in you. I wrote it for you. I wrote it for the person who's been playing small, only living at 60 or 40% when they can be living 100. For the people who have silenced their voice because they felt insignificant or people made them to feel that way. I wrote it for you. I wrote it for anyone who's been through any shifts in life, that life hit them hard and they needed to get up again. And they needed to not only get up, but they needed to come out of trouble. They made the decision not to stay where they were, but to go for their dream. I wrote it for you. And I hope that you will pick up your copy and that you will share it with those who need it. Again, if you swipe up and click on the link in my bio, bit.ly, bit.ly/legacy voice, all lowercase. You can get your copy today on Amazon. And I'm so excited. It's in the ebook format right now. But on Wednesday, the paperback is coming out. Yay! Can't wait. So excited, so excited. So excited that I was able to complete my goal of writing that book, of healing my own hurt, of healing my own heart, with the help of God, of course. Much prayer and having a midwife to help me to birth the book and to be able to release something of value to other people, not just to myself. Even though it was a blessing to me, it was of great value to all those who will be picking it up and reading it. So I can't wait to hear your feedback. Please provide feedback to me on Amazon.com. I'm anxious to hear what you thought of it and what you got out of it. I'm planning some other things around the book. I have other books. That was just the first in the series. So I have other books that I'm going to be writing. I'm so happy to be writing again, to really come into who I really am. I was born to write. And although I was writing somewhat on my job, it wasn't the kind of writing that I was born to do. So I'm excited to be embarking upon a whole new career path, a whole new me. And I'm your sister in the journey. This is Ramona Jones. And I am very pleased to have some of your time. And I look forward to doing life with you and connecting with you. I'm your sister in the journey. We're in this together. So I'm going to go and have some dinner now and get ready for a couple of workshops today. And enjoy your Sunday. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.